Sukup with Sukup Real Estate Services here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Today, I've interviewed Eve Hoelzel with Farmers Insurance. She is my insurance agent for my investment properties and personal properties, as well as an insurance agent that I've referred, a ton of business to. We've been connected now for a few years, and ever since then, we've become more, friends than just business relationships. And it's very clear how engaged and how much she enjoys being an insurance agent here in Northern Colorado, posting on Facebook, talking about how she saved a client money. And honestly, I had 9 months of being an insurance agent and I hated it. I hated it myself, but she's a rare breed, and she's somebody who I've began to trust more and more. She saved us money. She's been an advocate for us, and ultimately, she's a resource. And I hope you guys take from her today what I've taken from her over the last few years, which is a great individual, highly motivated, educated, and will work hard for you and your insurance needs. So without further ado, let's jump into this meeting. And again, this is Eve Hoelzel with Farmers Insurance Agency here in Northern Colorado. Thanks so much. This is Patrick Sukup with Sukup Real Estate Services in Fort Collins, Colorado. And today I've got a good friend and a client I'm a client of hers with Farmers, is Eve. And I came across her. She's a insurance specialist here in Northern Colorado. I have my multifamily policies with her, single family policies with her. And, looking at different businesses, she's the one that we like to go to. So without further ado, Eve, if you could kind of just introduce yourself, and then, tell me how, kind of you got, going with Farmers or insurance, or like we kind of just started talking about before we started recording a little bit was, how you grew up in an entrepreneurial family.
Absolutely. Thank you, Patrick, for the opportunity. I'm with Farmers Insurance, and I'm very blessed to be in one of the top agency for farmers in the state, and one of the top in the country. Um, I got started with insurance. Really, I was a property manager before I got to insurance. I was in the property management business, and I realized manager with the documents and claims and everything. And being a property manager, I just didn't want to just do the paperwork. I wanted to work on the paperwork. And one day, my auto insurance and home insurance referred me to David Stansfield. He said he's one of the best in the country, and for Collins. And one day I got called him and I said, "Can we meet up? I'm interested about insurance." And we had a cup of coffee and we clicked. So we've been working together ever since 10 years, and it's been fun. I can tell you, I cannot think about working with somebody else other than him. And he's been a great mentor for me. But the fun thing about what I do is that, yes, I grew up with my family owning businesses. And what I figured out, it was like with insurance, yes, you work with a lot of business owners and you work with the personal lines people too, which is fun to get to know them, know their job, that. But what I love about the most is to work with business owners, and I can come over and have product, and knowing that I'm a little bit of that product comes from me because I'm insuring the product makes me proud of it too.
So how, it sounds like you look at your career as more of a, business owner than and then a sales position, which I think really bodes to your success. What would you attribute, your passion for the insurance industry, to? Like what makes it exciting for you?
Exciting to try to figure out how to create a package that not only you give them great coverage, great premium, and that you're getting to know the business too. Like as the business is growing, they might not need this much, but they will need here. So for me is to figure it out. Not every business will fit in the same box, in the same policy. So what I like about it is trying to figure out the best package that will be customized for that specific business. Let me give you an example. I have insured a restaurant in town for 8 years. They didn't sell liquor until about a month ago. So, and now I come and have lunch with my kids over there that they were offering a margarita, the owner was, and then I realized that they do not have liquor liability. So what I did is like, okay, so your business has grown this much. Let's add the liquor liability because something happens, you're brand new with liquor. We don't want a liability against you.
No, I think that's huge. And, and actually just a personal experience just recently on like, that might have added some premium, but protected them on different liabilities. But I think you also are in touch with your clients to where, a mutual client of ours was doing some renovations to their property and, putting on some new roof systems. And you came back to him and just like, hey, when you're done, provide me, invoices, because maybe we can save you some premiums.
Right.
With the reduction of with the new roof, we could reduce your premiums. And I think that's where I think clearly you've separated yourself, is not just waiting for the renewal, not ever talking to them, just assuming that they're going to stick with you because it's too much of a hassle to switch.
Mhm.
But just that small interaction and saving, even if it's a few $100 a year, it's just the thought that you're concerned about your clients that makes the difference. What would you say is, a common either misstep or short sight of a homeowner, that you feel like you need to have a discussion with them to, whether is that, a replacement cost or, not adding sewer backup? What would you say is some major important items specifically here in Northern Colorado?
When people buy a home without the finished basement and 6 months later they finish it, they forget to call me. So what happens is that then their replacement cost estimator needs to be higher. And we also need to make sure that its sewer and backup is there. I always add in the forecasting that they will be finishing that basement at some point. And so I want to make sure that it is there.
Gosh, must be like some guy who's interviewing right now has a finished basement, who probably hasn't told you that he has a finished basement now at his house.
I
don't
will
know.
check your policy tomorrow.
I don't know who that could be, but yeah, I mean, literally. So I guess we probably should check that out. How did you and how are you building your business today?
To be honest, different ways. One is consistency, like getting on people. Say how you're doing, how's they doing, how is it now? Calling my people, asking them to review the policies, and also like to take them out for lunch or coffee. I'm a bigger believer, like maybe lunch is too much time for people to commit, but we can always do coffee. So I have done so many policies over coffee, Patrick. Like, I mean, I think I met you through coffee, right? It's I have done so many policies just by having coffee with clients. And sometimes coffee just it's a little bit less formal than lunch, and you get to talk about personal stuff over than business. The other way to I get my clients is through referrals. My business owners, especially my investors, they call me because so told them about the replacement cost analysis that I do for them. So it's my biggest marketing strategy that how what the premium was last year and what it is now. Another one, it is social media. Yeah. Social media with Facebook, RH. I do a lot of Facebook just to tell them about what I have done, how lucky I am for a referral, and how much people that I do my business. I don't think they will be calling me as much.
No, I mean, like we were talking about, kind of before we started rolling, I was very happy to refer you to clients of mine because there's not many, and I'm friends with a fair amount of people that are in the insurance industry, and there's not many that kind of promote and are excited about what they're doing in their professional careers as an insurance specialist and insurance agent in Northern Colorado, like you do. You're excited about meeting with clients, having a late night phone call, meeting with them for coffee, saving them some premium dollars. And I can tell you, it resonates with me, and that's when I was telling you about these clients that are coming in from out of town. I was between you and another insurance agent, and I said, well, they're both great, but this insurance agent is more kind of just resting on their, residuals. They know what they're doing, but this insurance agent is active, getting after it. They're excited about who they are and what they're doing. And it was quick, say no more. Let's get in touch with her. And
so sweet.
And it means a lot to me because I love what I do. I care about it. I'm excited about it. I get up every morning and get after it. And I want to be around others and do business with others that are similar. So, I really appreciate that about you. And, speaking about that, do you feel, I know there's, I don't want to like overstep or overspeak my, turn, but what do you feel as see as your future in this industry, and what kind of goals do you have for yourself, business and personally?
The sky is the limit, Patrick, because it's like I want to be, David will say you are really but you being that. I want to continue working hard, especially for my commercial clients, because my passion is, and the personal clients, it is where the comfort zone is. So it gets, I love getting personal with my personal clients, but I love. So what is the limit? Where do I want to move to? I can't tell you. I have a goal for keep working and duplicating my policies in the next three years. And so right now I have over 500 clients, and I want to make it in the next 3 years.
You broke up a little there right on me. You said, How many clients do you have?
500.
500 clients, and all pretty much Northern Colorado, or how far, what is your geographical limitations?
Oh, I have it from Steamboat all the way to Colorado Springs.
Oh, wow.
But most of them will be Fort Collins, Loveland, Greeley area.
Gotcha. And one thing is that when we went to lunch not too long ago, there were some restrictions on you being able to write policies because of the fire evacuations. Have those been lifted, or are those still in place? And are you able to write new policy?
Yes. We just did a commercial real estate yesterday. So yes, we are able to write policies now.
That's great. And do you see your pipeline being pretty full here in the near future with losses, or the great thing I'm sure about being with farmers is I'm sure you have there's tons and tons of systems that they've got in place to where yes, you might be involved on the claim side, but it's more just being an advocate than necessarily a day-to-day operational side. But do you see that as something that you'll be working pretty intently on in the coming months?
Absolutely, yes. We have a great claims team that I don't have to do much. They once I file the claim, they take it from me.
Mhm.
And so it is easy. It's easy to look good with the claims team. So they are taking care of all my clients that were affected by the fire. My right now, where my pipeline is in commercial accounts, arguing with underwriting because I do that and trying to find coverage for a 30,000 square feet building with a sprinkler system. So that's where my focus is right now. The next 2-3 months, not 2 months, November and December, I have about 7 to 10 commercial accounts that are pending underwriting review. And
That's
so
awesome.
yes, it's great. Thank you. It is great because it's I get to argue with my lovely underwriters. Let's say they think that the building is frame. And so for frame buildings, you have a higher premium. But then I argue because it's masonry. And I tell them it's not frame. ISO is wrong. It is masonry. And so what I do is like I present county assessor, which we know is not always correct. And I also take pictures and I say, this is look, it's frame. And so I get them to accept them many times. And I said, okay, let's accept that now. And then we can send, you guys can send a farmer's inspector and verify this masonry. So it's the fun thing about it. Then my client is happy because his premium went down by 20%. And I am happy because I'm beating the competition. So it's everybody's happy besides my underwriters who think they can get away with a frame build and one is masonry.
Well, there's two things that I really, admire about you, which is, um, you have, by the sounds of it, kind of a known far and wide Excel spreadsheet that you use for multifamily properties, maybe commercial as well, I'm sure. And
Right.
then also the fact that you love arguing. I don't know if it's uh, a woman thing or that it's just the competition, the competitive drive, entrepreneurial nature in you that, you don't just accept the first answer as, the right answer, and you continue forward inquiring and questioning, again, being an advocate for your clients. So those are two things that absolutely separates you rather than we live in such an easy world as far as technology goes. Like you said, we have systems in place where we type in an address and things populate automatically, but maybe there's some oversight. And I can tell you in real estate specifically, a massive oversight by many real estate agents is what type of zoning the house is in. And it's
Mhm.
specifically downtown. There's I came across a property that they had the zoning listed as residential, and it's a medium, it's a neighborhood medium density zone, which means I
Right.
could put a duplex on there. I could put an additional dwelling unit. I could add square footage. I don't just have to have one individual single family residence. And I love finding those missteps because others might just overlook it and move forward.
Absolutely.
Whereas it's kind of the same thing with you on, a frame build versus a mason build. Well, there could be 3 other people quoting it and they just take it for status quo of it's a frame built house or property. And why is their premium so much higher than yours? Well, because you actually went out to the property or asked questions that really matter to what developed that premium.
And you know something funny, Patrick, is that my underwriters like to call me at 4:45 on a Friday to tell me that it's to tell me that I'm not gonna get what I want. But they don't know that I don't care if I stay there until 6 or 7, but I will keep arguing with them until I get it right.
Oh, that's evil.
They call me at 4:45 and it's like, no, I'm not gonna take no for an
Oh,
answer. It's like, we're gonna continue talking.
yeah. I'm glad we
Yeah.
both decided to skip dinner tonight.
Exactly, exactly. But You know, the fun thing is I also enjoy looking at my because that's where I can be better. I can educate my clients of what they have, even though if they don't switch over to me, but I can tell them that they don't have building ordinance from 1925. Imagine that grades that they will have from the, if they didn't have the building ordinance. I can tell them that the policy is being written as an actual cash value, or if the policy is completely underinsured. So that's what I like to see at the declaration pages, is to compare fairly from what they have with what I can offer. If they decide to stay with where they are at, I can have a choice of continue being here or improving their policy with mine or with the one that they have right now.
Absolutely.
So it's all about is education, to be honest. I mean, I'm part of an investor club that they want me to review all their policies from different investors, and that's even though they're not my client, even though they won't be my clients. It's about educating people what, with a third party, what they have insured for.
That's huge. Yeah. I just you know, definitely get inspired by you as far as just the extracurriculars that you're doing and willing to do to better your abilities and provide value. I think that's something that gets lost in the mix, because you know how really it ultimately gets down to what value are you providing, and your business grows based off that. And clearly your business is growing pretty successfully based off of what value you're providing. And it doesn't take long. You know, the conversation that I had, I think that I came over to you was, you know, hey, this is we've got a whole bunch of singles and doubles and tries and quads, and we'd like to basically package them together and divvy out the risk and maybe save some premium in the meantime. And your name was brought up in an investor group, and you never once called me. I never once saw you, but it was just a peer referral that, you know, brought me to you. And, you know, there were some bumps in the road, don't get me wrong. And I think that was one thing that I appreciated you most about, you, is it was not necessarily a smooth ride to begin with, but it's always been something that you've been willing to face head on and not, you know, dodge calls or, skip out at 4:30 when I'm going to call you at 4:45. So it's been an absolute pleasure working with you, and the unique way that you're willing to look at the business and industry. So I definitely applaud you on what you're doing, and you don't need another person telling you how well you're doing. Your success is telling you for you.
Oh, thank you. And I feel the same way about you. And I was telling that client that you sent me this week how how knowledgeable you are about real estate and how much I learn about real estate as well.
Well, that's great. You know, well, I appreciate your time, Eve. I promised you, you know, basically 20 to 30 minutes. I'd love to pick your brain possibly again here in the future about specifics, maybe commercial versus single family versus investment properties, and really dive into maybe the nitty gritty. But I think ultimately it's important for people to know, you know, quality business people here in Fort Collins and different industry. And that's why I wanted to have you on. So I really appreciate your time.
Well, great. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm working on a educational program to talk about commercial versus personal lines and about reconstruction cost and the inflation that we get every year. So once I have that material ready, I will let you know in case you want to share it with your
Absolutely.
clients. It is something that every renewal your property will increase the cost. Why? So where do we come up from that inflation? And it's not just materials, it's also the claims that we have around the area. that affect the material supplies. So they're ready, and you can share it with your clients.
That'd be awesome. Now, Eve, if somebody's wanting to reach out to you to get in touch with you as far as getting a quote, a policy, talk to you about different issues that they're currently having with their current insurance, what's the best way to contact you?
My cell phone.
Your cell phone?
Just because, oh yes, my cell phone. It's just because I'm in and out of meetings, but I know that I can text back if I say I am in a meeting. Please text me right now or I'm writing. But yes, that's the best way to contact me.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to continue to refer business to you, and for you to treat them as well as I know you have with previous clients that I've referred to you. So I appreciate you, and thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you, Patrick. Talk to you soon.
All right, Eve. See ya.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, and if you haven't already, please click below, subscribe, like, comment. It means a lot to me. I've enjoyed putting these videos on. I hope the value is there for you, and continue to watch, engage, and comment. Let me know what you guys like, dislike, what you guys want to see. All righty, guys.